Hey YouTube, Chad here with another beer review, 2BJCP specs. So we're on style 4B, festbier. Festbier, not Oktoberfest beer, for a very long reason, which we'll get into in a minute. So just to clarify, when we in America think Oktoberfest beer, we tend to think of like Sam Adams Oktoberfest and other like really copper or amber type beers that are really toffee and sweet. But in Germany, the actual 6 Munich breweries make more of a pale, traditional Munich style lager. And for that, we're doing Hofbräu Oktoberfest beer. As you can see, this is a very pale golden color, not an amber thing. So let's go over the style guidelines. 4B Fest beer, a smooth, clean, pale German lager with a moderately strong malty flavor and a light hop character. Deftly balances strength and drinkability with a palate impression and finish that encourages drinking. Showcases elegant German malt flavors without becoming too heavy or filling. Now, let's go over some like the comments and history and everything. I think you should pause and read this. And they explain the difference between Festbier and Marzen. Or Marz, I don't know how to pronounce it. But, so, this is not the, 500-year-old recipe. This is something that came about in like 1990. I just want to talk about characteristic ingredients. Majority Pils malt, but with some Vienna and or Munich malt to increase maltiness. They do not mention the hops, though. I'd be really interested in that. I mean, it's German, so I'm assuming it's noble hops of some sort. Probably more like Hallertau, not your Saz spicy ones, things like that. Differences in commercial examples are mostly due to different maltsters and yeast, not major grist differences, which it basically means that they use very similar recipe. It's just that the malt provided is a little different. So style comparisons: less intense and less richly toasted than a Marzen, more rich, heavy in body than a Helles or a Munich, as we just did 4A. More hop flavor and higher alcohol. So to me, this is like a Munich Helles that's just like a lot stronger. Less rich in malt intensity than a Maibach. So yeah, right between those two there. You can see all the vitals and everything. So let's, I've been rambling long enough. Let's get right into this. So let's start with the aroma. Yeah, I mean, I just mostly smell like Pilsner type malt, but it's not nearly as sweet as like the Munich Helles. It smells like just more like a generic lager. I mean, they said it may use Munich or Vienna specialty. I do not smell any like toasted or caramel, nothing confectionery. Maybe just like a really general kind of earthy hop or something like that. But yeah, not much going on there for the aroma. Let's check the specs. Moderate malty richness with an emphasis on toasty, doughy aromatics and impression of sweetness. I would call it rich as in plenty of malt, but not sweet. Emphasis on toasty, doughy air. I mean, maybe a little doughy. Yeah, maybe a little doughy. It's certainly not toasty. An impression of sweetness? Maybe, sort of. Low to medium-low floral, herbal, or spicy hops. I'd say very, very low hops, if none. The malt should not have a deeply toasted caramel or biscuit quality. Okay, check on that. Clean lager fermentation character. Check on that, too. Yeah, so as far as the guidelines go, it's sort of there, but I don't know. Aroma, I'm going to say 7, maybe an 8. Maybe I'll come back to that. Let's move on to appearance. Well, I mean, German lager, pale golden color, very effervescent. I don't know if that's picking up on camera. Probably about a 2 to 4 SRM, maybe 1. Yeah, it's about a 2 to 3. Very clear. Had a big frothy head on there when I poured it. Looks like that's going to stick around. Let's see what they say here. Deep yellow to deep gold color. Should not have amber hues. I agree with that. Bright clarity, yes. Persistent white to off-white foam stand. Most commercial examples are medium gold in color. Yeah, so that's right there for the specs. I'm going to give that the full 3 out of 3. Yes, it's definitely more malty than the Munich. As in, like, just like the taste of malt. I don't mean like sweetness. Like, it tastes, they call it malty because it tastes like malt. It's not like super sweet Doppelbock or something like that. So yeah, a lot of pills flavor on there. And I can tell there's a little of a specialty malt of Vienna or Munich. It's very, very, very slightly toasty. Nowhere near as confectionery as like a Marzen. Pretty low, earthy hops in there. Not spicy. Definitely not, especially after considering all the beers I've just reviewed in the last week or two. Nowhere near as spicy as a Czech Pils or something like that. Pretty clean fermentation profile. Actually, totally clean, I'd say. No DMS, no diacetyl, nothing like that. I will say it's a very clean aftertaste. I'm surprised. Nothing starchy, certainly nothing hoppy. Very clean, neutral aftertaste. So the palate is definitely more malty than hoppy, but it's not sweet per se. Medium to medium high malty flavor initially, with a slightly toasty bread dough quality and impression of soft sweetness. Yeah, sort of. Lightly toasty, okay, maybe. Bread dough, yeah, okay. An impression of soft sweetness, sure. Medium to medium low bitterness, I'd probably put it low bitterness. Definitely malty in the balance, okay, that's exactly what I said. Well attenuated and crisp, but not dry. I agree with that, it's not bone dry. Medium low to medium floral, herbal, or spicy hop flavor. I'd say low, earthy hop flavor. Clean lager fermentation character, true. The taste is mostly of Pils malt, but with slightly toasty hints. I'm really not getting toast. It's much more like raw bread than toast. The bitterness is supportive, but should yield a malty, flavorful finish. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's more malty than hoppy, but it's not particularly sweet or anything. Yeah, so it's mostly right there. It's just, to me, it's not like a really delectable beer, but as far as the style guidelines, mostly there. And it should be, because it's one of the original 6 Munichs. It's almost kind of blasphemy to rate this anything lower than like a 50, but I don't know. To me, it's going by the specs there. I'll go 15. I think that's actually being a tad generous. Mouthfeel. Medium body with a smooth, somewhat creamy texture. Okay, I agree with that. Medium carbonation. True. Alcohol strength barely noticeable as warming, if at all. True. Yeah, so okay, that's perfectly right there within the guidelines. I'll go with a full 5 out of 5 on mouthfeel. It's totally right there. Overall impression, I'm going to go 7. Yeah, so total score, I think I got 37 there. Yeah, 37, it's good. For me personally, this is like a 5, maybe a 6. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.